Hey everyone, welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something that might just completely change how you think about success. It turns out it's not just about what you're doing, but who you are being while you do it. So, let's get right into it. So, let me ask you something. Does this feel familiar? You're doing all the right things. You've got the strategy, you're putting in the hours, you're executing the plan, but something's still off. There's this nagging sense of struggle or stress, and you just don't feel like you're where you're supposed to be. Well, it turns out just working harder might not be the answer. You see, for pretty much our whole lives, we've been sold this idea that success is a simple formula. But what if that formula is actually broken? Or, at the very least, incomplete? This is what we call the success myth. And it's probably why so many driven, high-achieving people still feel unfulfilled even after they've checked all the boxes. So here's the myth we're all taught. Strategy plus execution equals success. Simple enough, right? And look, it's not totally wrong. But here's the kicker. The reality is that hitting those external goals, getting the promotion, making the money, hearing the applause, that doesn't magically make the internal stuff go away. It doesn't fix the fear, the anxiety, or that feeling of, is this all there is? True, lasting success needs a third ingredient, one that we almost always forget about. Okay, so what is this missing piece of the puzzle? Well, I can tell you it's not another productivity hack or a better business plan. The most powerful factor driving your success is something much, much closer to home. It's your inner world. That is the real engine behind everything you do. And there's a name for this. It's called psychological mastery. It's basically this big idea that your mindset, your emotions, your whole inner game, that's what's really driving the bus. Think of it this way. If your plans and your actions are the car, your inner state is the fuel in the tank, and you're not going anywhere meaningful without the right kind of fuel. At its core, success is an inside game. I mean, just think about it for a second. When you're running on fumes of fear or guilt or shame, you're in what we call a low energy state. It's like trying to win a Formula One race with dirty fuel clogging up the engine. It just doesn't work. These emotions, they literally block your creativity and your growth. They keep you stuck. Your state of being dictates the quality of everything you do. Okay, so if we're stuck in that low energy state, how in the world do we get out? How do we refuel? Well, it all starts with one major breakthrough, a single line that you have to consciously decide to cross. Let's imagine our emotional energy is on a scale, okay? Way down at the bottom, you've got all that heavy stuff, the fear, the guilt, the shame. But then there's this pivot point, and that turning point is courage. Courage is the spark. It's the energy you need to just say, okay, I'm taking ownership now. And that one decision is what allows you to start climbing up to those much more powerful states, like acceptance and even gratitude. It's the exact moment you stop being a victim and start being the driver. All right, so once you've tapped into that courage and you start shifting your inner state, what's next? Well, the next logical step is to completely redefine what success even means to you. Because let's be honest, the old definition, the one that's all about comparing yourself to everyone else, that's what keeps us stuck in that low energy junk in the first place. Now check out this definition. It changes everything. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. See? With this way of thinking, success isn't some finish line you cross. It's not about beating the other guy. It's a journey. It's about slowly, step by step, moving towards something that you decided is worthy. It pulls the focus away from what other people think and puts it right back on your own internal compass. And hey, want to know a powerful shortcut to get there faster? You don't have to figure all this out from scratch. Find people who already have the kind of success you're after. And I don't just mean the money. I mean the fulfillment, the whole package. And don't just look at what they did. Dig deeper. Figure out how they think. What are their beliefs? What are their daily habits? Because success leaves clues. And trust me, the biggest ones are always in the mindset. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we practice this kind of mastery every single day? Well, it really boils down to one core principle. This is the how-to behind everything we've been talking about. 100%. That's the number. What does it mean? It means taking 100% responsibility for everything in your life, your actions, your feelings, your results. Now, this isn't about blaming yourself, not at all. It's about taking back your power. The most successful people on the planet do not make excuses, period. They take radical ownership. And taking that 100% responsibility means you have to actively avoid 3 really common traps.
The first one is blaming other people. The second is making excuses or rationalizing why things didn't work out. And the third is just complaining about your situation. Think about it. These three things are the ultimate power killers. They are literally what chain you to those low energy states we talked about.
So here's the bottom line. Taking responsibility is really all about changing the story you tell yourself. The moment you stop pointing fingers and start asking, okay, what's my part in this? What can I do about it? You rewrite the entire narrative. You go from being a side character in a story that's just happening to you to becoming the author. And when you're the author, you can write a whole new ending. So I want to leave you with a question to really think about. What is the one story, the one excuse, the one limiting belief you've been telling yourself that you can decide to reframe, starting right now, today? Because that right there, that's where true, sustainable success actually begins.